Look, if you're someone who regularly gets on sales calls and wants to improve your skill, or you're going to be getting on sales calls in the future and you're not really sure what to say and you want to know exactly what one kind of looks like, then this video is going to really help you out. Because today we're actually going to be looking at a live review of a sales call recording that one of my students have done in the 4D copywriting server. Now, in this server, you can actually get access to a whole bunch of other live sales calls if you want to watch more of those. So a link to join that free Discord server is down below in the description. And of course, if you guys want to get on more sales calls and schedule more sales calls with more potential clients, then I urge you to get the Ultimate Outreach Playbook for free in the link in the description as well. Anyways, guys, without any further ado, let's hop right into the live sales call review.
You were a teacher before as well, weren't you? I saw it.
Yeah,
on your Instagram.
20 plus years, yeah.
20 years, wow. How old are you? You look really young.
Oh, thanks. 43, I'll be 44 this year.
43. Same age as my mom.
Yeah.
What do we think so? Wait, what'd you say?
Thanks. 43, I'll be 44 this year.
43. Same age as my mom.
Same age as my mom. A boy, no way, a boy. So he started off with some decent riz, okay? He was doing his thing. He was like, yo, yeah, what's going on? I heard you were a teacher. So he was being cool. He was relate and extrapolate, right? He was talking about, I heard you were a teacher. So this is another good thing that he did, right? So what he did was he did a little bit of research on her, right? And talked a little bit about, what she was doing currently or what her past was, for example. So that was a good one. And he was like, damn, how old are you? Now, women age usually don't really mix that well, whatever. She was like, and he was like, and then she's at 40 something. He's like, wow, you look really young, right? Cool. W Riz, right? W Riz. Cause she does look really, really young. Right. And then he said, how old are you? He said, my mom's age. Damn. It was going so well, bro. Same age as my mom. God damn, bro. That's a damn self-destruct right there. Well, that's the thing, is that you say that she looks young, which is cool, but then you acknowledge the fact that she is old, which is an L, right? You want to make her feel younger than she is. So you do that by telling her that she's young, but then she says that she's old, and then you're like, shit, that is old. You're like, that's my fucking mom's age. L Riz, L sales call, but that's okay. That's why we're here. Also, it's like you put it in a weird dynamic where it's like now you're almost like, it feels like she's listening to her son. Like she's listening to somebody who could be her kid. Like that's not always not what she's saying, but that's almost what you make it feel like when you say that. So, hey, we live and we learn. The mom line was crazy though. She's gonna play it off like, oh really? Oh yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Inside, she's like, this dude just, hell no, bro.
I know.
Let me go back.
43. I'll be 44 this year.
Same age as my mom.
Yeah. I know. I was like, he could be my son.
Yeah, you look way younger.
Oh, thank you. Mm-hmm.
Say, do something right. What were you teaching?
Yeah. Second grade mostly, elementary. Yeah.
What subject like? Just any subject.
All right. So small talk's over now. Now you're talking about what subject you teach in, like, and into the interview questions now. Context, small talk has already been established, So the small talk is like falling apart here. So I'd say like move past it as fast as possible. Let's get to the meat.
Yeah. So I left the classroom about 5 years ago, and I've been teaching online for the last 5. I love kids, but the system is broken. So that's why I do my own thing.
She escaped the matrix, is what she's trying to say.
I always ask this to everyone who I get on a call with. What was the main motivation for actually getting on a call?
So first question, not bad, right? And I liked how he prefaced it. So I can tell that he does, despite the mom line, he does have some social calibration, because he did say like, just disclaimer, I ask everybody this, so it's not weird. So he's like, yeah, teaching. So why'd you get on the sales call? What do you want me to sell you? What are you looking for? He didn't want to be weird like that, which is good. It's almost like when you're on a date with the shorty and she'd be like, so like, just curious, just out of curiosity. No real reason, but what are you looking for anyway in a girl? Like, what was your main motivation for coming on the date? And then, if you got her saying stuff like that, it's game over. But anyways, I think it's just a common sense not to ask ladies about their age. Yeah, the age was a touchy subject to begin with. And then he started playing it off, and then he just started talking about the mom line. And it was like, no, yes, no. He made the save, and then he dropped the ball again.
Well, I was curious what you had to say. I mean, you gave the information in the video. I'm not surprised about. I mean, everything you said was like, I've heard that before, as far as like, people saying, don't be creative, people don't get it, and then like the talking about yourself, which again, like I explained, it wasn't to like boast or anything. It was like that credibility piece, everything you were saying was accurate. Like I've heard it before. Yeah. I was just gonna say, I was kind of intrigued because my response, I liked the heading. It was more catchy. I was just like, I didn't want to make promises. I always get worried about making promises, even though it wasn't promised, like that, that heading that
Yeah, I understand.
So dope. So she said quite a bit here, right? She also said she was intrigued. So, W, Mr. Owen, for the intrigue. About me talking about myself, it wasn't to boast or anything, blah, 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 blah. So that basically tells me that somewhere in her sales page, she committed one of the cardinal sins of talking too much about herself, right? Now, maybe he was a little bit harsh, especially because, this is, what is the best way to say this? She is of the opposite gender of myself, which tend to be on more average, not take lightly to that type of language and criticism. God, that was hard to say properly, politically correctly, but you know what I'm trying to say, right? Also, another thing that she mentioned was like, the heading was catchier that you made, but she didn't want it to be too, you know what I'm saying? In this particular instance, I would relate and extrapolate to those 2 points. I would be like, for one, yeah, I know, it can be that way because on one hand, you want to build authority by talking about yourself and talking how awesome you are. But on the other hand, you also want to, you also don't want to do that too much because, people want to hear about themselves or hear about how it can transform their life instead of your own life. So, I definitely get it there. So it's kind of a fine line. It's kind of a balance. And then as far as the other thing goes, like, yeah, I get you. We've all seen those ads on like YouTube or something where the dude's overpromising. He's like, yo, I can help you make $10,000 in 3 days with this one stock market hack or whatever, right? And I get that you don't want to sound too far like that because that, of course, makes you sound too salesy and also diminishes a little bit of trust. So then again, is also a fine line as well. So that's exactly how I would relate and extrapolate, but let's see what he does.
So, before as well, I saw on your, I think it was one of your highlights that said mentorship. You actually had a mentorship before, didn't you?
So he doesn't even address it. Cardinal sin. So now she was like, I just gave him this answer. I gave him this whole long answer. I went into it, blah, 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 and he barely even listened. I don't even know if he heard me. I don't know if he understood what I said. I don't know if he's listening or if he's just waiting for his turn to talk. This is, sorry, Owen. I definitely know how you feel, bro. I've had my stuff reviewed live before and it's difficult. But hey, bro, everybody makes mistakes. It's really not a big deal.
The program, the high ticket program that I have been promoting, one thing that he had talked about is if you offer your mentorship, like, hey, if you sign up under me, I will mentor you one-on-one. And so that's kind of what that was. So they were using the strategies he shared. So like I said, I didn't feel like I could claim that, but I was mentoring them. So it's like that angle, but I don't like to be sleazy about anything I do. I like to be very honest. There's a lot of sleaziness out there.
So how was that then? Was that successful in it?
The program?
Yeah.
It's the only affiliate program that's made me money. I'm almost at.
I wouldn't say was it successful. I'd probably say how successful was it. Assume that it's somewhat successful. Because if you're going to be like, was that successful? She's not going to say no. She can't say no. Like no, I wasn't successful. A complete failure, complete flop. I'm dookie. And again, she brings up the term of not being. She doesn't want to be too salesy. She doesn't want to feel too sleazy. And also, that's another thing that I would extrapolate and relate on, so that you can ease her mind, so that she knows what she's talking about, right? There's a reason why I'm really good at this, right? Reason being is because naturally, right, I'm a very I wouldn't say self-conscious, but like I always think of what other people are thinking. So by you telling them and relating to them, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's kind of like this thing. And you make another reference off of the reference they already made, then they feel really, really good about it. That is something that you can use in friendships, relationships, on sales calls, anytime in your life. That is a cardinal rule. I don't know if that is in How to Win Friends and Influence People, the book by Dale Carnegie, but that is a killer tip for you guys.
19,000 that I made, and I started pretty much January. So I haven't done a whole lot in the last month because he's switched things out. So, and that's why I say I'm moving on. What I want to make my own money. I trust myself. I can depend on myself. I know what I say. I walk the walk. I don't just BS. I just can't do that.
Yeah. Okay, I see you. You know what? Here's the thing, bro. Business owners, they know they're the shit. They know they are the shit, bro. Understand that they all have an ego, and you can use that to your advantage. Obviously, people know that I have an ego, right? So I will talk myself up because I know I'm the shit. And a lot of other people will talk me up because they know I'm the shit. But when somebody who works for me talks me up, I'm like, are you saying that because I'm the shit, or are you saying that for other reasons, right? And they'll probably feel like the same too. So make sure that you do not kiss their ass, because they are going to sense that from a mile away, and it makes them uncomfortable.
There was also an inspiration section on your page as well, wasn't there? I like that. The quotes and everything.
Yeah. I'm very faith-based. I know it's like that. It's like that. And I saw something on yours too.
Ooh, okay, y'all checking out each other's page. My boy, man, tell me that Instagram don't work. Somebody tell me that Instagram. Tell me who was doing Instagram before I brought it to the scene, and tell me that Instagram don't work, and tell me I ain't the man. Telling her that you found this thing on her Instagram inspiration section. I like that. Obviously, you did your homework on her. Cool. It also opened her up to feel comfortable enough to say something about your Instagram that she saw on your Instagram, which is cool.
I don't know if you're a believer, but I assume you are. But it's one of those things. That's why Grace. I think I shared that too. Why I wanted to add that in there, because that was me, even though it doesn't. You know what I mean? Like the Grace represents something else. But I want to put that in there, not being preachy, but that's the people I want to. I want to be myself, and I want to attract that type of people, I guess. Yeah.
So right there again, I would relate and extrapolate. So I would be like, yeah, that's cool. I actually have noticed a lot of other faith-based businesses and entrepreneurs out there, which I thought was really cool as well. I listened to some of them. Like, for example, maybe you know Michael Todd. Maybe she doesn't know Michael Todd. Maybe she don't. But, I'll be like, he's a big preacher too. Or I'd be like, I don't know, maybe Myron Golden. Myron Golden does the same thing. He's like an entrepreneur. He talks a lot about like faith and, the Bible and stuff. He uses the Bible to extrapolate a lot of terms when it comes to business as well. And I would say something like that. Now, you might not necessarily be able to relate and extrapolate to everything, but that's how I would relate and extrapolate to that particular thing.
To get it out there, basically. I'm not good at consistently emailing every day. I hate emails because I was a writing teacher, and I hate writing emails. And I think it's just because, again, I get in my head about what to say and all that stuff. So that's what's not happening. And then I hate doing reels, to be honest. I don't like reels. I will probably down the road, and I've already had a friend that might do my ads for me, but I don't want to get into a bunch of money when it's not coming in very good.
You could relate and extrapolate to how she doesn't like sending emails, relate and extrapolate to how ads are risky, and you want to start up the organic first, but the organic, and relate and extrapolate to how reels, they suck making and stuff, and how, I got some reels on my channel, and I know making them is kind of annoying. In fact, I hired an editor to do it, and blah, 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 right? You can just talk about stuff. It's conversation, flowy. Let's see if you relate and extrapolate here.
So was that 30 people on your email list or on the wait list?
Okay, so no. Yeah, I asked a different question about the email list.
They always because I've been in a lot of online business mentorships for the last 5 years, and I've learned a ton, but it's a lot, right? You have to apply it. So nobody's going to know about you if you don't talk about it, right? And I don't talk about it enough. And I think that part of it is because I'm in this middle of going back and forth, like, is anyone going to want this? Am I wasting my time? That whole, Satan. But also, I also have that affiliate marketing program in the back end, which I'm hesitant about promoting because of just ethic things and stuff like that. But yet, like, I got a commission yesterday randomly because I need the money coming in, right? But anyway, so it's like I need to do I need to focus on one thing, and it's just not that I'm not talking about it enough.
So this is a great example of why sales scripts sucks, right? Because obviously, if you came into this with the sales script, you'd be going way off script because you guys are talking about some other way crazy stuff out over here, over there, whatever. So it also, you wouldn't really know a lot about this person or a lot about the situation until you actually get on the sales call, right? That's why principles are so much more important. So this lady, for example, really don't want to pay. She really don't want to pay. And her biggest problem, from what I can tell, is that she just doesn't want to post content because she doesn't think that people will watch it. And, me being as a content creator, like, this is the type of lady that I could consult really, really well. Like, I could make this lady a lot of money.
Has what made my commissions with the affiliate marketing, and I was doing 3 reels a day. Obviously, I was pushing to, a program, but now that it's mine. There's
a problem. Another huge problem, guys. If your clients have this problem, like, oh my God, it's the worst. If your client is doing this, please tell them to stop immediately. From Instagram, you should not be pushing people to your course. From YouTube, you should not be pushing people to your course. You want to know why? Because for the majority of people who come across that video on Instagram or from YouTube, that is going to be their first touch point, their first content. How do you feel when somebody you've never seen before tells you to go buy a course? It's annoying. If you make a reel that's basically an ad, that you're telling people to go see a course, nobody's going to watch it. It's going to hurt you in the algorithm. Nobody's going to watch that reel or video, right? And when nobody watches that one reel or video, YouTube or Instagram penalizes you for it. Don't sell in any of your Instagram. Don't send them to that. What do you do instead? You send them to a free lead magnet. I don't know what this woman does. She said she's a writing teacher, right? Let's say she does blog writing, right? She can make a reel talking about, hey, here's how I made $3,000 last month writing blogs. I went to this website or whatever. I found clients here and I wrote them this blog, blah, 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 blah. If you want to find out more about being a blog writer, I have a free course in my bio. Boom. People go download the free course, give them your email. Now in the email, you give them a bunch of tips. Here's how you can write faster. Here's how you can write with AI. Here's how blah, 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 blah. Here's how blah, 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 blah. In their email, now they're opening up the emails. They're trained to open. They're trained to click. Now they're trained and open, trained to click. Then you can start setting them to the low ticket, or you can get them more enthralled into your content atmosphere, right? Just going down all of your content economy, going down the rabbit hole, right? Send them playlists or send them other stuff. Now, of course, people usually need to watch at least 7 hours of content before they actually buy. So now that they've watched all this content, they've consumed all this content, then you reveal to them that, oh yeah, by the way, I do have this course if you ever wanted to buy it. Those people are going to buy.
If you confuse, you lose, right? So sometimes I get that. So
boom, if you confuse, you lose. See, she knows it.
I don't know whether I should just leave this particular link on there and just get people in it. Because at some point, like, I only need to give me their feedback, and then I just need to keep collecting. So then my question is, like, what should do I give a freebie? Because you always hear this too, where you don't want freebie seekers. I don't want freebie seekers either. I want people that they're
Yes, you do want freebie seekers. What are you talking about? Do you know how many people consume my content that will never buy anything from me? And I don't care. You want to know why? Because let's say, oh my God, bro, how is this free, bro? This is the game, G. Bro, I should not be giving this out. But I guess I'm going to anyways. Jesus. You don't want freebie seekers. Yes, you do. Okay. You want as many freebie seekers as possible. Let's say, for example, I get 1,000 people who view my videos and subscribe to me and watch my content, and they will never buy from me. Do you know what those people are going to do? Because they still have the feeling of reciprocity. They still have the feeling of reciprocity. Maybe they legitimately cannot buy, or they have these excuses or self-limiting beliefs about why they'll never buy. I don't care. I don't care what it is. Maybe they're 13. Maybe they're 14. Maybe they just don't got the money. Maybe they live in a third world country. I don't care. Doesn't matter. What they're still doing is they're still giving me the feeling of reciprocity, right? They're still getting the feeling of reciprocity. So what they do is they comment on my videos, they engage with my videos, they engage in my live streams, they engage in everything, which, what does that do? That creates a better community for people, that boosts engagement, which will cause more people who are not freebie seekers to come around, right? So yes, I want freebie seekers. I have hundreds of people, I have thousands of people who watch my videos who will never give me a dime. But it's like a butterfly effect. They might not give me a dime, but they'll probably lead to more freebie seekers coming to my page. And those freebie seekers will probably eventually go to more people. And one of those hundreds of or thousands of people will probably buy. So yes, I don't care if people legitimately don't buy, because you know what they are going to do if they don't buy, right? But they get all this insane value, they're going to engage. And when they engage, more people are going to come. Those more people are probably going to be non-freebie seekers, dog. This is the game, bro. And those freebie seekers, a good portion of them themselves will eventually buy from you. Because if they're learning from you and learning from you and learning from you, right? And there's a little bit, oh my God. It just goes so deep. Everything, I have every drip drop of secret sauce that there is, bro. Because what you do, right, is you give people what they want to know. Right. But the great thing is that what people want to know is usually not the thing that's going to get them the result that they want. For example, I teach and do a lot of videos on YouTube, and that's how I initially got big, of how to get copywriting clients. Right now, of course, it will help their outreach. It will help them get more replies. It will help them get more results. But is it going to help them become a 10K a month copywriter just because they have an extra outreach principle or method? Probably not. Why? Because what they want to know, you give them for free on the YouTube, and that's the sexy stuff that everybody's going to come see. What they need to know that's going to get them the results that they might not necessarily want to look at or want to search up, that's what you actually sell to them.
Yeah, I'm still trying to. So what is the goal then? Like, what would be your next big goal?
The goal is to sell the course. But again, yes, that's at the end of the day, that's what I want to do. It's a program, it's an academy. That's the end of the day. I think it's just because it's not done, and and it's like I'm doing all the things, but then it's like I'm trying to get fillers out there to see if anyone's interested. But again, if they don't know what's in it, then why are they going to be interested, right? So that's what I'm saying. I have to get my messaging correct. I got to get out there, tell them what it is. And I was going to start trying to message because I want to launch it in May. And I wanted to do kind of like for 7 days, you can get in at this price. And after that, it goes up and then. Hey,
she's stealing my strategy. Damn. I might relate and extrapolate to the little sales thing that she talked about just a little bit. But I guess you don't have to, but I would. I like to relate and extrapolate a lot, because it really gets people to open up to you. Because I've had the exact same situation in my own life happen, where it's like I'm talking to somebody, maybe they're a little bit older, or maybe I don't know them at all, or something, right? There's a reason why I don't really, like, if it's a friend of a friend, right, I can kind of guess that they would probably understand a lot of the things I'm talking about and get the references, and like they kind of probably like all the same things, right? But if it's like a complete random, I'm not really going to say anything too out there, in case they don't know what the hell I'm talking about, in case they misinterpret it and get offended. Like, I don't really know if you can like joke around with this person yet.
And then, like I said, it's a lot in the copy, like you said. I would love first somebody have a team to do things again, but everything costs money, right? So, which I know you have to pay to play. I get that. I've spent plenty. But yeah, I don't enjoy.
Yeah. So these are the clients that are like, I'm not going to say the worst, but they are, like you've had clients that are like, oh, well, I've paid all this money before and I didn't get any results, and blah, 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 blah. They're kind of just spooked. They're scared. They really, really are in a scarcity mindset because they don't really have any cash flow quite yet. And it's going to be kind of tricky, right? Because you want to just write the copy for them, but also they're going to pay you to write the copy when they could just write the copy themselves or get ChatGPT to write it. You kind of have to come to the table with something a little bit more than I can just write you copy, right? You have to go from your offer being, I can write you copy to I can make you profit. I specialize in copywriting or email marketing or just marketing or online digital content or strategic online content or whatever it is.
I want to focus on the content that I'm putting out, and then I get distracted. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, do you think if that was a thing then, do you think you'd feel more confident that if it was like, let's say in a dream world, it was a perfect 100% conversion rate, do you think that would motivate you and actually give you more drive to upload a bunch of videos then and actually get that out?
I know what you're doing, but I don't think that the execution is quite right. So a good thing to do a lot of the times is to give people what he did, which is like in a perfect world situation, right? But also here, she kind of just said like, yeah, if the conversion rate went up, I would be much more motivated to post content because my content would be basically monetized. And now you're being like, well, what if your conversion rate was 100%? Then would you be more? It's like she already said yes. And now you're saying, well, what if it was 100%? It's like, yeah, but even more.
I think those are the two things. And I mean, like I was saying, what does that look like for your, because that's what we're going to be talking about, obviously, is your services. So, like, what does that look like cost-wise, all that stuff? And then, like, did you just start, or tell me about that?
Oh, goodness. Did you just start, or, damn. Okay, so she like, look, I know you a beginner. I know you just got out of Hustlers University, too. And I know you about to try to charge me some bullshit. So let's get into that.
Can I just start
like doing this for people?
Oh no, I've been doing this for about almost a year now.
Yeah. Yeah, come on now. Put some respect on my name. Been doing this for almost a year. Call me a damn master. What?
About the costs, I almost always like to do like a discovery project with businesses. So that's basically just some sort of semi-low cost, low commitment work that will still obviously have a huge impact on the business, and this would definitely. And yeah, so doing that page seems like it'd be the best thing we could focus on.
Yeah, she don't want to do the page. She don't really want to do the page. She wants answers, right? She wants somebody to tell her this is what to do, this is what's best, and this is why, right? She wants the answer with a justification, strong justification behind it. Maybe you're trying to give her what you think that she needs, right? Or maybe you're trying to give her what you're good at. But what you actually want to do is give them what they want, okay? Especially at the beginning, because when you start by giving them what they want, you can give them what they need later on when they're pleased with you giving them what they want.
And about the price, so usually it would be a lot more expensive, but obviously it's a discovery project. So to redo the whole thing.
A lot more expensive? Come on now. You want to use sales neutral language. So, you could say, usually I would do it for a higher investment point. You don't want to talk about price and expensive and cheap. Like those are all words that are like salesy, like, sales guard up immediately. So
basically it'd be £99 up front as the first half, and then I'll get everything completed. I'll give you some advice as well for the videos to a standard that we're both like extremely happy with. And then once we're both really happy with the final result, then only then after we're both happy, will you have to pay the second $99. If you're not,
I mean, that's a pretty good deal. You talk about £99. That's goddamn. Even if you're broke, you're like, come on, bro, $100, and it's like $100 before, $100 after. Like, come on now.
You would change the copy.
Right. And now she's trying to kind of figure out what that is, right? So basically, I would make it extremely clear for what you get, right? So I would say something like this. So for the discovery project for this, what I would do is completely rewrite the page, and I would also write scripts for you. Does that sound like something you'd be kind of open to, blah, blah, blah? That you could tell her price. Well, it'd be £200, half up front, half after we're both happy. Then you just shut up. Then you see what she says. That's also another thing, right? Is that you want to get people's raw 100% what they think on the moment. You don't actually want to give them time to think. Because if you give them time to think, they're going to start thinking of excuses. They're going to start thinking about why not to do it, blah, 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 right? When you give people time, it's basically time for them to come up with all the excuses as to not do it. And that time that they're just kind of thinking alone in their head, you can't handle those objections before they say it, right? Because what an objection usually is just an excuse, right? So if you don't give them a time to come up with an excuse, just be like straight up, like, what do you think? They'll just give you their actual real raw opinion right there. And people usually don't like silence. So when you sit there and are silent after it, they're going to just say something eventually because they just don't like it.
Okay. And then as far as reviews and like work you've done, do you have like a portfolio or anything of like people's work? Or, I mean, I saw the highlights, but it sounded like they were a lot of reviews for the videos that you made for us.
So that those reviews.
Interesting. So yeah, this is basically her trying to come up with more objections and excuses as to not go through with it. She wants you to be like, well, I don't know what I'm doing, so that she can be like, okay, I have an excuse to not be blah, blah, blah on here. I mean, the only thing you can really do when they bring up the whole experience thing is tell them, well, I have experience doing this, been doing it for a while. I've learned from these people. It doesn't just come down to like, okay, I'll do it till you're happy. Because the thing with sometimes, like especially with brand new business owners, like this lady, for example, it doesn't even seem like she's profitable yet, is that even if she likes it, she doesn't know if it's going to work, right? So she's more concerned about, is it going to work rather than, well, I'll make something that I know that you're going to like. You know what I'm saying?
These were purely just from me getting on calls with other copywriters. But as far as clients, I haven't really tracked results or anything. As the most recent client was, we've been waiting for got down to tracking results and stuff.
Yeah, I think I don't really, there's not much that needs to be said. I think he knows where he could have gone better there. Just instead of being like, oh, well, I don't actually have any, just be like, oh, well, I've been working with this one client, blah, blah, blah. Even if you have some results for them, I wrote them the sales page, I wrote them this or that. And you could also just be like, I could put together a portfolio or some stuff that I wrote before, blah, 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 something like that.
So you don't know what kind of conversions have happened since you've...
And that's why I'm saying that would be 99 up front first. We don't just do like £300 up front because that wouldn't make it.
Right.
And then once we're both happy with it and we're both like, okay, yeah, this should work, we can do some tests. And then only when we start seeing results and we're both happy with it, then you'll have to. Yeah,
she doesn't really want copy. She wants conversions. And you're basically being like, well, I don't really have any previous conversions. So it's like, you could both be like, yeah, high five each other and be like, this copy's awesome. And then you don't actually make any money off of it.
Have you had people go into the other half or?
So the one I just talked about 2 months
Yeah, see, she's very, very skeptical now because of lack of experience and that's probably the reason why it's the whole I'll think about it. Because she's like, I don't know, I'm not convinced that this dude really knows what he's doing. One way that you can mitigate this, especially if you have no experience, is to really just add extremely strong justifications to why you want to do some of the things that you do or why some of the things that you want to do work, right? So, yeah.
We're actually on a commission-based deal, so they paid £50 up front, currently doing everything for that. And then obviously once that's all done, once everything, they just pay 10% commission for 5 sales, I believe it was. But their product is very, very high ticket, so of course getting sales on that is pretty difficult.
Okay. So what are the services, like if we were to go forward and just various things, what all do you offer? Like this is one thing, right? So is this what you focus on or what are...
Exactly. Yeah. She doesn't really want copywriting.
For the different services you offer, do you have a page that talks about that or?
Not yet, but it fully ranges from...
I wouldn't say not yet in that situation just because it's like, not yet. Like, I've just started.
Emails, lead magnets, opt-in pages, landing pages.
Honestly, guys, you can offer real scripts. Like, real scripts is literally half an email. It's like half an email. Not even. It's like a quarter of an email. Y'all can write that.
So just anything that has words and makes people want to take action, basically. Adverts, stuff like that.
All right. Well, let me think about it. If you don't mind, let me think about it. Do you have
Let me think about it. So that's an objection, right? But, you know, probably you're just going to be like, yeah, okay, go ahead. Think about it. Talk to you later. Bye. I'll be like, yeah, no worries. Cool. Just out of curiosity, before I let you go here, was there any specific part that you wanted to think about? Was there anything that's kind of holding you back from just being like, yeah, let's just get it started right now and let's go through with it, or what? Right? Because maybe she'll be like, oh, it's the price. Or maybe she'll be like, oh, it's a lack of experience. Or maybe she'll be like, well, I'm not really sure if copy's what I need. Any of those, you're able to figure out what, you know, get back to the real and then address it. This lady, of course, it'd be great to give her like, you know, some marketing strategy if you had any, or also, what was the other thing? Real scripts.
All right, perfect. Well, like I said, let me think about it. I gotta look at finances, although that's not that much. I still need to think about it.
Trying to look at finances, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'd focus on getting this woman cash flow first, because she's clearly cash flow negative.
Especially when money, I mean, I might have made a commission, but I haven't been able to pull out my money. So,
No worries.
yeah, so, but I appreciate all that. Very good points, things like that. And then we'll go from there.
Perfect.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Chrissy. Nice
Okay.
to meet you.
Cool. Awesome. Everybody, let's give it up for Mr. Owen.